Today I want to build up the key of D. We want to do a D major scale and find out the chords in it. I'm going to use the key of C this time to do it. Rather than use the theory that we've learned before with the whole steps and half steps that construct a major scale, I want to use your fretboard knowledge to create the key of D. So what we're doing is, here's the key of C with C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And D is 2 frets higher than C, a whole step. So I'm saying here that to transpose from C to D, I'd go up 2 frets. C becomes a D, so instead of starting on C, I'll start 2 frets higher on D. The second note in C is a D, therefore the second note in D is an E. The third note is a whole step above this D. D to E is 2 frets, so in C we go C, D, E, whole step, whole step. A whole step above E is not F, they're a half step apart. We have to go a whole step, so we need an F sharp in the key of D. D, E, F sharp. Now I have E to F in the key of C at the 4th. That's a half step apart, 1 fret. F sharp and G are closer together, so we've got our half step there. We can continue on like that, moving every note from C up a scale tone, which is 2 frets, to get into the key of D. Can't have a C note because we need a whole step here between the 6th and 7th notes. B to C is only a half step, so I need a C sharp there as well. So I'm using F sharps at the 4th fret, C sharps at the 2nd fret for the key of D. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So there's your key of D. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. In C. So you recognize we've got the exact same relationships, the same sound of a do, re, mi scale. Just moved up 2 frets into D. As we saw when we built scales using Father Charles Goes Down and Ends Battle, D is the key with 2 sharps, Father Charles, F and C. So we knew that from what we gleaned from the key of C, knowing that by our fretboard knowledge, this was whole step, half, whole step, whole step, half. That becomes a template for all major keys. Here we can use a similar idea, just raising all those notes into the key of D to figure out the scale again. Then we could extrapolate from there that indeed this is whole step, half, whole step, half. Continuing our transposition, the other thing we've already seen with our primary chord chart is that the 1, 4, and 5 in C are C, F, and G chords. In D then, they're D, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, and A. So our major chords are D, G, and A. The other chords you know from the key of C and the key of G now when we've done scale tone triads are 2 and 3, both minor chords. The 6 is the relative minor. The 7th on the C sharp is a diminished chord, and we're not doing that yet. So I'm going to put in the chord names now. The 1 chord, D major, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord are all majors. The 2 is a minor. I use a little M for minor. The F sharp is minor. The B is minor, and the C sharp is diminished. This chord theory holds in every key. C would have major chords, primary chords C, F, G, D minor, E minor, and A minor. The 2, 3, and 6 are minor. The 6 is the relative minor, and the B, the 7th note, is a diminished chord, and we're not doing those yet. In D, the 1, 4, and 5, D, G, and A are major. The 2, 3, and 6 are minor, E minor, F sharp minor, and B minor. The C sharp is the 7th, it's diminished. We had to learn B minor a little bit in the key of G, so I'm going to use that here. We also have to learn now the F sharp minor. Here then are your chords in the key of D. We've got D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A major with any fingering that we learned, A7, B minor, we learned this 3-finger version, a 4-finger version, a middle string version, and a full bar version. You can pick any one of those at this time. That's the one I've drawn. We can put another bass note in there on the 4th string. Your pointer can cover the 5th string at the 2nd fret and lean down and touch the 1st string at the 2nd fret as well if you like. That's your complete chord that you are working toward regardless of where you stopped. So D, E minor, a small F sharp minor, G, I'll go right to A7, to B minor. D is the relative major of B minor. B minor is the relative minor of D, so you want to get good at those 2 chords, regardless of the version you're using on B minor right now. The F sharp is a bar chord. We've got to get the 2nd fret covered on 3 strings. And then we add a 4th fret on the 4th string. When you were doing your scale 2 minutes ago, you recognized that we went on the 4th string D, E, F sharp. There's an F sharp and there's an F sharp. So those 2 F sharps have to be in the chord. Then we cover up on the 3rd and 2nd string the A and C sharp. As always, there's bigger versions of this. You can add another bass note to this. So on the 5th string we have a 4, on the 4th string a 4, and then that bar on 3 strings. We could grab a 2 here on F sharp on the low string, and a couple of 4s, that's a power chord. Or then lay this finger down on all 6 strings to get your full F sharp minor. I would work on this one for now. We can find it in a couple of nice songs. Hey There Delilah would go from D to this F sharp minor with a fairly simple motion. So we can learn that one to use this chord. That's probably the first song I used to get good at F sharp minors. I also want to show you Pretty Woman, which has A's in F sharp minors. We've seen lots of A's. The way I would look at it here is the A chord that utilizes a bar. Open 5th string, 2nd, 2nd, and 2nd are all covered with your bar. And I just don't want to use that 1st string in the A chord. Then if I add this 4th fret, 4th string, and play the top 4 strings, I have F sharp minor. A, F sharp minor, A, F sharp minor. So that's a nice way to work on the F sharp minor as well. As we've seen, we have various progressions that we can do. If you remember the numbers, 1, 5, 6, and 4 is popular. This comes from any key. In the key of C, this would have been C, G, A minor, F.